What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the FIFA 17 career mode. This is episode number 61, and we start today's episode by looking for replacements for Martin de Roon as skipper, who was of course sold in the last episode to Arsenal for £12 million. He told us all he was homesick. Well, he's gone to London instead of back to his hometown country. His home country, yeah. So that's kind of frustrating because this is not the first time we've seen this happen on my channel. A couple years ago, Alexis Sanchez at Arsenal, remember that, said he was homesick, went off to Paris Saint-Germain instead. Very upset with my former captain, but he's gone now, and that's just how it is. So we look to try and replace him in today's episode straight away, and I had 4 targets in mind. Thomas, the Ghanaian that plays for Atletico Madrid. Nemanja Radoja, the Serbian, playing for Celta Vigo. Of course, we have one of his former Celta Vigo players in Theo Bongonda here, who signed in the summer. Julian Weigl of Borussia Dortmund, 23 years old, 83 overall. He's the one I really want, and also Francois Coquelin as well. But as you'll see with the latter 3, all of these players have their contracts up coming the end of the year, and even though their valuations are higher than our current transfer budget right now, what I'm hoping is that one of these clubs will say yes to a less than valuation bid due to the fact we could poach them on a pre-contract and sign them for free next season. So that was my thinking behind Radoja, Coquelin, and also Julian Weigl as well. But for Thomas, he's valued at £11 million, I think it is. We could afford that, so Thomas does look like the most likely outcome, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. The one I really want is, of course, Julian Weigl, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. But also, De Chilio was wanted by Everton for £15.5 million. We said no to this bid, told Ronald Koeman to look elsewhere. We're keeping the Italian here, as I really like him. He stays, and also check this out too. Celta Vigo and Dortmund came back to us regarding Radoja and Weigl, said no, but Atletico Madrid did accept a £9 million bid for Thomas. I said that was under his valuation. It wasn't. It's £9 million. That is a valuation bid for him, and Atletico Madrid say that's totally fine. So we give the Ghanaian a contract, 79 overall, 25 years old. He'd be 2 ratings lower than de Roon, who was 81 overall, but I wouldn't be against signing him. He's got 80, I think it's 87 strength, 86 stamina as well. Very good combination for the DM area, and also medium-high work rates too. So I guess we'll have to go and see what happens there as we offer the Ghanaian a contract, and also putting new bids for Weigl and also Radoja as well. But I'm not too sure these bids will come off here. It's well under their valuations, and I highly doubt Celta Vigo and Dortmund will let us take the players. We're just hoping for the best, really, putting in the bids and hoping they will say yes. But also as well, coming to the first game of today's episode here, we take on MK Dons in the Cup, in the FA Cup 3rd round, coming on the back of that win against Liverpool in the last game in the last episode. Now our first FA Cup game of the season, taking on the League One side here at the Riverside Stadium. So a much changed side, as you would expect, a fully weakened team. It's what I always do in the Cups against lower league opposition. Rest all the players, give chance to fringe players, and see what they can do here starting for us. And the first chance of the game would fall to us as well, just 3 minutes in, as Traore found Tammy Abraham just inside our half. He found Callum Chambers down this right hand side. He momentarily lost the ball, but as down he played it across towards Walsh here. Wilson made the tackle, and away we went. Ramirez through towards Tammy, who got himself inside, but completely miskicked the shot and dragged it way wide of the post. A terrible attempt there, and it was still 0-0. In the 12th minute though, MK Dons will win a free kick off what I thought was a great tackle by Dominic Heinz here. The referee did give a free kick to MK Dons. Ed Upson, the former Millwall player, would whip the ball into the middle and look for Chuks Anike, and how about this? The former Arsenal midfielder heads in to make it Middlesbrough 0, MK Dons 1, as the away side stun us here early at the Riverside Stadium. And look at that as well, good ball into the middle, but Anike was sandwiched by Traore and Kimpembe, but instead the 6'3" midfielder, very very strong indeed, shows us his strength, beats them both in the air and heads it past Jordan Pickford and into the back of the net. So MK Dons take a shock lead here at the Riverside Stadium, and it was 1-0 to the away side. We had a couple of chances from corners, first Nichols making a save, and then Chambers heading this corner just over the bar, and as you can see at the break, MK Dons was still leading by a goal to 0. 11 minutes after the restart, we tried to get ourselves back on level terms with Matt Target finding Theo Bongonda down his left hand side. The Belgian went on a storming run, took it past Walsh here down the left flank with the Berber spin, got himself inside to shoot, but fired the shot wide of the far post and behind for a goal kick. So still the away side were leading, and with 11 minutes to go, we were still trailing by a goal to 0. They'd done nothing other than put the ball in the back of the net in the first half, and we were struggling to create chances in the second half. Tammy Abraham received the ball here, played it through towards Matt Target. He got onto his weaker right foot before finding Wilson. Southampton. It was tackled by Walsh. It came back to the former Saints left back. He went for goal, but fired it wide of the post and behind. So it was still 1-0 to MK Dons. And the final chance fell as we were just approaching stoppage time here. Maynard played the ball back towards the Nikkei, who scored their goal. A nice little move, released Nicky Maynard, running through one-on-one. Pickford storms out a goal. Can't get the ball off him though. The cutback is made, and how about this? In stoppage time, MK Dons would double their lead and secure their progress into the next round of the FA Cup. I've been reading the comments. I know what you guys have been saying. It's too easy for you right now. It seems so obvious you're going to win the treble this season, probably after 2 trophyless seasons. Well, guys, think again. Final score, Middlesbrough 0, MK Dons 2, and how about this for our most embarrassing loss of the season? The League One side come to the Riverside Stadium, the strongest team in England, and beat us by 2-0. They took 2 attempts in the game, both on target, and of course both found the back of the net. How about that? We lose to MK Dons, and I got to be honest here, I'm a little bit worried. You know, I'm a little bit worried. We started off January, we beat Aston Villa, we beat Liverpool. Sounds great, right? Sounds ideal. Sounds like we're still on course. But now that big loss to MK Dons means the FA Cup, it's gone. You know, it's out now. We can't win it. We could have won the Champions League, the Premier League, and the FA Cup in our 3rd season. Well, the FA Cup has gone. The competition is out of the window now, and it's all over, and I cannot believe it. I rested the entire side. I thought we'd still be okay. We normally are, but it just didn't work. And then following that, as you could see, how about this? Adama comes to us and says about that new contract, I'm going to let it expire and then move on. So Adama now has told us he's not going to sign a new deal, and he wants to leave. So things may be falling apart here at the Riverside Stadium. Our captain has told us he's homesick and then done a runner to London. Now we know that Dominic Heinz is supposed to be put on the transfer list by the board, as obviously he wants to lead the club. He's not getting much first team football. And now Adama, who is on the transfer list, has now told us he's not going to sign a new contract and he wants to leave. Things are looking pretty bleak now at the Riverside Stadium. It was all sunshine, it was all rainbows. Now things may be falling apart. Very, very worrying indeed. But still, following that, as you can see, we had a bid for Tammy Abraham. We rejected it. He's going nowhere. And also, Celta Vigo and Borussia Dortmund came back to us regarding Radoja and Julian Weigl as well. They said the bids were unacceptable. Not a real surprise. And it doesn't look like we're going to get either of these 2 midfielders. I would like to bring in both of them, one of them as a replacement for Derone, as they are the guys I would want. Radoja, 81 overall, 25 years old, so same overall as Derone, but a couple years younger. And also Julian Weigl, of course, a few years younger and 2 ratings higher. These 2 are the boys I want, but it looks very unlikely we'll be able to get either of these guys. You know, sometimes this does happen, and to be honest, it's happened a couple times this season already with Salah and also someone else, Bongonda as well, getting bids accepted at a lower than valuation, but it doesn't always happen, unfortunately. You have to get really lucky for this to pull off. We got our lucky in the summer transfer window. We're not going to get it in the January transfer window. We put in new bids, wait and see what the clubs say, but it looks pretty likely that they are going to say no to these improved offers. The 2nd or 3rd bids we put in there, and it doesn't look like these are going to come off. And also, as you can see as well, Thomas came back to us, accepted his contract. He says he's ready to come in, swap the Vicente Calderon for the Riverside Stadium for £9 million. I said, Thomas, appreciate the offer, but just wait a second. Don't sign that contract just yet. Wait a minute. I still wouldn't mind getting Radoja or Weigl, but as you'll see in just a moment's time, as a bid came in for Adama from Southampton, £21 million, but we say no. I don't care if he's on the transfer list. I want to keep him here, as I really rate our Spanish winger. As you can see, Celta Vigo came back to us regarding Radoja, said no, £25 million or nothing. We can't afford that. We can't even afford half of that at the moment. And also, as you can see as well, Borussia Dortmund said no to the bid for Weigl. Not a real surprise. I deleted those emails before those clubs came back to us there regarding the 3rd offers, because I knew they'd say no, and that means that Thomas is going to be the guy we will sign. So I wanted Radoja, I wanted Weigl, or I wanted Francois Coquelin. Unfortunately, we're going to get none of those 3 players. We have to settle on Thomas instead, and I don't know, like it's a good signing for us, I feel, for £9 million. It is valuation, but as you'll see in just a moment's time, his valuation's actually dropped to £8.5 million. He's 79 overall, 25 years old, and the truth of the matter is, whoever came in, unless it was Weigl or Coquelin, would probably be a backup backup player anyway, and Will Hughes would start as our defensive midfielder, or possibly Heinz at centre-back and push Davis to CDM. Some of you guys have suggested that, but to be honest, like, I'm still sitting there thinking to myself, it is a decent cover player to come in. It adds more depth to our side after losing the captain, but is he going to be good enough? I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's the defensive stats that really drew me to Thomas, with that 87 strength, also 86 stamina as well, medium-high work rates. That's what drew me to the guy, but I'm not entirely sure. He'll be in the resis most times, but I guess we'll have to wait and see whether he can pull his weight or not, as Will Hughes will fill in the defensive midfield position, and Davis will keep his place in the centre-back role and stay as captain as well, because for the second game of today's episode here, we will take on Stoke away from home at the Britannia Stadium. And of course, this was the fixture, I should say, last season, where Davis made his debut for Middlesbrough. How would he do in his first away game as captain? Well, Stoke started the game off quite well on the back of our defeat to MK Dons there, 24 minutes in, that shot going just wide the post. But a few minutes later, a good chance for us to take the lead here as De Chilio released Menendez down the left-hand side. He took it around Phil Barsley, the right back here, with a couple of skill moves, a lovely scoot turn to keep the ball in play, and then look at this from across from Diego, a perfectly placed ball into the middle, and there is Gabriel Barbosa to nod in another goal to make it Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 1, and Barbosa has returned from injury, being put back in the first team, and what a fantastic run of form this guy is on right now. Another goal for Gabby goal. I do believe that is 4 in his last 3 or 5 in his last 4. No, not that amount. I think it is 4 in his last 3. Barbosa right now is looking really, really good, and now he's reached double figures this season as well to join Saido Berahino, as those two may be set for a race for the golden boot. Haven't had one of those in a while, where two of my strikers are both on target to possibly compete for the first and second spot in the top scoring charts come the end of the year. So Stoke 0, Middlesbrough 1, Gabby goal with the goal, and we would take the lead in the first half. We could have doubled our lead in the break here, so I should say on the break here, after the break, 12 minutes after the restart. We cleared a corner, went through, Berahino found Barbosa, looking for his second of the game. It was a good save by the goalkeeper though, and eventually Stoke scrambled the ball clear. So still 1-0 to the Borough. We were looking pretty strong though, but just past the hour mark here, a good chance for Stoke to get back on level terms as Imbula found Joe Allen. The Welsh god played it out wide towards Hintis here. He got himself inside the area, and Mattia De Chilio, who I rejected a bid from Everton for just a week before this game, would take down the man inside the area. And at first, I was thinking chase the MK Dons game here, where a free kick was given, a foul was given against us, or I thought the referee called it wrong. But for this incident, definitely the referee got it right. I didn't see it at first, but as you can see on the replay, the turn is made by the number 24, and I thought De Chilio got the ball. He didn't. He got the man instead. The 24 goes down, and then he kicks the ball away. So right decision by the referee. No complaints from me for this one, and a definite spot kick. So a chance for Stoke to get themselves back on level terms here just after the hour mark, and Jermaine would score as well. The number 9 just about squeezing the ball in here. I dived the right way with Donnarumma. I don't know whether you guys agree here, but penalties seem harder to save than ever before, at least from last year's FIFA anyway. I wasn't that bad at saving penalties offline, at least, last year's FIFA and online too, but this year, even when I dive the right way, sometimes I just don't get the luck. That happened this time too. Donnarumma guesses the right way, guesses correctly, but it squirms under his body and goes into the back of the net. So 1-1, Stoke back on level terms. Diego then tried his luck from range here a few minutes later. It was a good save by Becerra though, and it was still 1-1. And it would 10 minutes to go here, a good chance for Stoke to win the game late on. Imbula found Jermaine, who went for goal. Good block initially by Henry de Hoover. It fell back to number 9 though, looking for his second of the game. Donnarumma made the save though, and this time denied the number 9 from making it 2-1. So still 1-1 in this game. The final chance though fell with 2 minutes to go, and how about this? Diego was causing problems all game long. Released our top scorer Saido Berahino, who took it around Walshide with the step over, and how about that? In front of the travelling fans, almost won us the game. Unfortunately though, with a minute to go, it hits the crossbar, and Berahino right now is on a bit of a barren run of no goals. You know, he's not really doing too well at the moment, and unfortunately could not win us the game there late on. So final score, Stoke City 1, Middlesbrough 1. We go away from home, but can't get the win, unfortunately. That's now 2 games without a victory. We're out of the FA Cup. We threw away the 3 points in this game from a leading position. I think the draw was the fair result, but things may be beginning to fall apart a little bit for the Borough. We've lost our captain. 2 players want to lead the club, and also the player we've brought in may not even be good enough for our bench right now, as we're out of the cup competition too. But that will end today's episode of the FIFA 17 career mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do leave a like. Likes are of course much appreciated, and it really helps the channel grow as well. Much love to you. Hope you guys had a fantastic Saturday and enjoyed the double episode upload day, and I'll see you for the next episode of career mode very soon.